President Biden touting the fact that the cases of COVID, they are down right now in all 50 states, and deaths are down to their lowest level in more than a year.
But the president also warned that flare-ups could happen and urged people to get vaccinated. Take a listen.
If the unvaccinated get vaccinated, they will protect themselves and other unvaccinated people around them. If they do not, states with low vaccination rates may see those rates go up, may see this progress reversed. Ultimately, those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
Unvaccinated will pay the price. We'll bring our panelists in today. We have Quincy McKnight, Republican congressional candidate, joining us live here from Tennessee. We also have Kelly Hyman, attorney and Democrat strategist, and Dino Scaros, presidential historian and immigration attorney. He's also the author of this book, Trumped Up Charges. Quincy, let me start with you on this. The president saying the unvaccinated will pay the price. Regardless of what he may mean by that, how do you feel about the words that were used there, paying the price?
You know, I think I don't know if he's trying to make it more of a thing of race, or if he's doing the race baiting again or not. I don't know. But I tell you, I don't like the fact that he's sending these double messages out here to Americans that are trying to figure out if they should get vaccinated, if they should not. For too long, he's been sending these mixed messages to Americans, and it's just not good.
I want to go to Kelly Hyman on this. Your attorney background as well, and just ask you, does the president have any sort of legal authority to require that all Americans do? He can, of course, offer his recommendation, but legally speaking, would he have the chance?
Right. You know, you bring up a really good point. Ultimately, it's people's choice. People can decide to follow the science and get vaccinated, or people can decide to not get vaccinated. The point being, if you get vaccinated, then not only are you protecting yourself, but protecting your family members. And if you don't get vaccinated, to wear a mask to make sure that you don't get COVID from someone else and affect someone else or some loved one. But ultimately, it would be up to someone's own individual choice after probably talking with their doctor and making an own determination on what's best for them.
Dino, I want to move to this next topic, and you can hit on that first one if you want in just a bit. But the new CDC guidelines are still not clear to everyone. There's a lot of confusion. But we're going to play this for you. This is reporter Yamiche Alcindor asking White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about a vaccination honor system.
I've talked to some people who are very worried about the idea that we're operating on an honor system in a lot of ways, that we're in places like Walmart and Target, there's already starting to be rule changes based on the CDC guidance. What do you say to people who think it's worrisome to be operating on an honor system, that it could put kids or even immune-compromised Americans at risk?
Dino, this is interesting on several levels, if you will, but you may remember for months, Democrats and mainstream media, some in the media, have chastised anyone who questioned the science, who questioned the CDC guidance. Now we have members of the media questioning it, kind of flip-flopping, if you will. Your thoughts, Dino?
What's interesting, Sean, is that a week ago today, Dr. Fauci appeared before the Senate Health Committee, and when asked what percentage of his own employees at the Institute for Infectious Diseases, what percentage was vaccinated, he said a little more than half. What's interesting is you will not hear that on most media outlets. And there was a tweet that took that segment of the 3-hour hearing, and that was deleted on Twitter. So most people are not even aware that the face and voice of COVID, Dr. Anthony Fauci, even his own people, barely half of them, more than half of them are vaccinated. So there's this narrative problem in the United States right now with people not being informed.
I want to be fair to the question. It was posed to Jen Psaki, and here's how she responded to the one, again, asked by that reporter in the briefing room. Here's that.
You're empowered, if you are not vaccinated, to wear a mask. So it is less about the honor system. You don't have to trust the person next to you has been vaccinated if you have not been vaccinated. If you wear a mask, the guidance is saying that that provides protection. So, it doesn't, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. So the honor system is, I'm not sure I completely understand that argument, given it provides guidance directly to individuals about what they can do to protect themselves.
And from that response, she made it pretty clear the White House is operating on an honor system when it comes to self-identifying as vaccinated or unvaccinated. Quincy, what do you think about that? Do you think businesses will take that to heart, or do you think they might require these sort of vaccination passports of their own for customers hoping to enter the building?
Well, first of all, we got to understand that business owners across America they're ready to get back to revenuing again and making profits again. So I don't see business owners around America making that a mandate because, again, the Biden administration continues to send mixed messages to the American people and forcing people to wear masks. I just don't think this is going to where people have to be more independent of themselves and not having the government to just continue to control them. That's just, you saw what happened. Let's just use, for example, the Tuskegee Airmen. Let's take it back some history. The last time that people were forced to take a vaccine or therapy, as they called it back then, you saw how the Tuskegee Airmen suffered. Those five black Tuskegee men. So we don't want to be controlled by the government when it comes to this stuff. And I don't think the business owners want to be controlled either.
Sure. Of course, the FDA will argue this vaccine is safe and effective. And Quincy, what's interesting, you're Skyping in from Tennessee, I believe. It's a much different feel outside than you'd see in New York City, where you've got people still wearing face masks. They listen to the government. We'll leave it there, but our panelists stick around. Still more to come. Well, President Biden announcing monthly child tax credits yesterday as part of the American Rescue Plan.
Those payments would go directly to about 39 million families. Here's Biden announcing those tax credits yesterday.
On July 15th and the 15th of every month thereafter throughout the year, you will get deposited in your bank account half of your tax cut, at least $250 per child each month, a direct deposit into your account. So if you're a working family with 2 kids, you're going to get $500 a month into your bank account on the 15th of every month starting July.
Okay, our panelists are standing by. Kelly Hyman, I'll go directly to you here. How are you viewing this decision from the Biden administration?
I'm viewing it as a pro-family initiative. People are struggling personally, professionally, and financially trying to put food on their tables. We have poverty of children in the U.S., and while it won't eradicate it, it will help the working class family, and it's a pro-family initiative, and I think it's great.
All right, Dino Scaros, I imagine you have a different thought.
Well, I hope I'm wrong, but I'd like everyone to remember this word, austerity, because that is what the countries of Greece, Italy, Ireland, Spain, and Portugal went through a few years ago. And in some of those countries, you have these kind of things. You have a full month off at Christmas time with a bonus of your entire salary. So you get a double check and you're off for the month. You get to retire in some cases at 50 if you have a job where you're on your feet all day like a hairstylist, and you get a full pension with that. And that's what these countries did for years and years and years. And then they had something called austerity, which is just a horrible belt-tightening way to live that is ultra belt tightening and is crazy. And that's the path we are headed on if we continue to give away money like candy. This is why there are so many Democrats, because it's the party of candy. They just give it all away.
Well, I know we had heard promises of student loan forgiveness along the campaign trail. We'll wait and see if potentially that could be the next thing that would come out. But in the meantime, we've been talking about the shortage of workers that we've seen. People just not taking these available jobs. That could, of course, stall economic recovery, as we've been talking about. Republicans arguing that workers are not going to go back to work if unemployment benefits are too high. But there's a new theory that's floating around about why workers are not going back to work. Here's a clip from CNN on this. Take a look.
They're the people who are out on the front lines who are being put in danger, and they already don't feel that they're safe at work. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying to them, well, you know what, we're going to allow some people in there who might not be vaccinated, and they might not need to wear a mask. So, you know, when you're talking about the larger picture, right, and you're seeing that people don't necessarily want to go back to work who are in the lower income sectors, this is just one more reason for them not to want to go back to work because they just don't feel safe, Chris.
All right, Quincy, how are you seeing it? When we see all these, job opportunity signs for hire, why is it that you don't think people are going back?
Well, first of all, I'm a business owner, okay? Been a business owner for several years now. And there are a lot of jobs right out on the job market open right now that people won't apply for. So as long as the government continues to filter free funds and reward people for staying at home, these jobs are going to remain vacant. And business owners and restaurants across America are going to continue to have to operate at 45 to 60% capacity. What we have to do right now, we are going to have to learn to take the profit out of unemployment. Stop rewarding these people that choose to stay at home and actually want to go out and work like the normal American.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Quincy McKnight, Kelly Hyman, Dino Scaros, our political panelists. Thank you for joining us today.